Hello friends, are you struggling with the recent brand new game that was just released on Adopt Me, FrostClaw's Fury? Well, today I am here to show you guys a few tips and guides on how to complete the game, and on top of where to find the egg and if it's okay to get more than one. So stay tuned for another video today here on Sparks of Imagination. Alright, as we get into the first scene, this is the first scene of the very beginning of the game. To get started here is tip number 1, your tools and food. So there is a equal amount of chance when it comes to getting such things such as a apple or a ham. There are times that there is a lower chance on getting a sword or hyperspeed potion. And of course there is a very common chance that you will also get snowballs, which I will be talking about later. As you begin to search around all of these cabinets, make sure that you are searching all of them and you don't forget a single one. As you can see right now on my screen, I am only getting ham and snowballs, which is completely okay because there is something I will be showing you guys later, just in case if I don't get something really unique. As you can see, I just got myself a sword, and that will help me out along the way in the game. So once again, as you are searching around, make sure you look around every single cabinet that is open. They will have a white line around them. Just make sure that once again you just search all of them, and just to make sure that you get the stuff that you need. If you don't get a sword or if you don't get any food, do not worry. There are other ways how to get it, which I'll be showing you guys later. Alright, as we go on ahead, head into the next part, I'm going to go on ahead and jump in here. And right there. You're going to press the button that you will see on your screen. I always recommend that you play this game on PC or on mobile devices, since, as I've noticed before, it is a lot harder to play on controller on a console such as a PlayStation or a Xbox. So I do not recommend playing this game on a console. I only recommend playing it on a mobile device or PC, especially since it is a lot easier to get into certain things. Now as we go on ahead and go into this scene, as you have already noticed, I did get some snowballs, which is completely okay. I can use the snowballs for certain things that I might need along the way. A few tips I want to share with you when it comes to doing the shopping is, if you do not have a sword with you, do not hesitate to grab yourself a sword. Do not avoid grabbing yourself a sword, because in case if you do want to battle, which it is very easy to battle in this game, I always recommend to grab a sword first. Don't grab any sort of food items unless you have 10 snowballs left and you want to spend it on something. The apples is a great recommendation, especially since they only cost 10 snowballs, and they will only give you just sadly one apple, but it will still help you along the way, especially in the game. As we go on ahead and wait for the scene to come to an end, I'm going to go on ahead and head into the shop with my 60 snowballs. As you can see, I already have a sword, so unless I just want to upgrade something to something that's a lot more powerful, I don't exactly need myself to go on ahead and get a new sword. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to spend mine on gingerbread because, you know, it's just extra snowballs, and then I'm also just going to grab a apple. I already have 3 hams. I still have my cookie that I saved, because I'm going to need this later on in the future. If you want to buy yourself snowballs, it's 10 Robux. It's not that expensive. It will still give you 50 snowballs, and if you want to use that, go on ahead. But I would only buy snowballs if you ran out and you need more snowballs for things such as a sword or maybe some food items. So I don't need to necessarily go back into the shop, because I literally got everything that I need. I got a sword, I have ham, which will be very useful. I also have a cookie that I was given, and I also have an apple. So I am completely all set and ready to go. Now this scene is literally the easiest thing that you have to go through. It's not that hard, it's not that intense or anything like that. It's not going to give you like a heart drop or anything like that. All you just need to do is just find all the wooden pieces, which are luckily given arrows to. All you just need to do is just repair the beds, and you are all set and ready to go. Now, in case if you are, for example, low on health, I would recommend going to sleep. Now, I don't normally go to bed because I'm not really much of a person who likes to use the bed just to heal myself, because I do have my food items, but I would just rather hold on to these just in case, especially when I go into battle for the boss fight. Now, as we head into this scene, this is where things start to get a little bit difficult. Now, as we go on ahead and head into the scene, we're gonna start battling some very bad guys. Snow pets. We have a snowman, and then we have a snowman that looks like Pac-Man, and then we also have a Frost Guardian. Now, since my sword is not that powerful, it's only gonna do 1 heart of damage, which is honestly no problem because it's not much of a big deal. When you're on PC, I always recommend using anti-lock. If you don't have it activated, you have to go into your settings in the game, and you're going to go into here, and then you're going to turn on shift lock switch. That's going to allow you to do this, and that'll allow you to give you some perfect aim when it comes to battling these guys. Now, of course, as you can see, there is a red line and a red circle that appears under them. That is when they are using their powers. Do not go near them. You always need to avoid them, because if you get hit by them, it's going to take 10% of your damage. So it's always best to always react fast when it comes to seeing those red circles. Just make sure that you're avoiding them at all times. And every time you defeat an enemy, you do get gingerbread. It's just always best if you just fight them off. Just be careful of the red circles. If they reach to full, then that is when they use their power, and you are most likely going to get damage from it. Of course, like I said, I'm always using my anti-lock just to defeat these enemies, because it gives me an easier grip and an easier handle when it comes to using my sword, because it allows me to make a constant strike on these enemies so that I don't get damage whatsoever. As you can see there, I just got damage from the circle, which is completely okay. It only gave me 10 damage. It's not much of a big deal or anything like that. Just want to make sure I don't waste too much time over here. Just going to try to defeat him. 10. Okay, and go. So I only got myself 20 damage. It's not much of a huge deal. Now we're moving on to the next scene, where we're going to be heading on to the obstacle. I don't usually recommend using an anti-lock for this one. Just make sure that you're avoiding the spikes and you're avoiding the red lava or the orange lava, whatever color it is for your screen. Just making sure that you avoid it at all times. If you hit the spikes, you will get damage and it will slow you down. If you hit the lava, then it is going to take some damage away from your health. And this goes on ahead and escape through there, and you are all set and ready to go for the next scene. Alright, we're in the next scene. In case if you did not get a sword, you will find a sword that will be right here for you. Do not eat the cookie that Santa has, because it will take damage from you. It will decrease your health by a huge amount. And as you can see, there's an egg right there. I'm going to grab that, and I snagged it. Now, you can always find the egg hidden in this room, in this specific area. Just look out for a blue egg that has a red wrapping on it. That will show you that that is the secret egg that you'll be able to unlock when the entire event is over. And no, it's not just more than, you can get more than one. It's not just one that you can earn, it's more than one. So luckily, since this is my 4th one, I can now turn the pet into a neon, which, as was stated by the Adopt Me moderation team, yes, you can get more than one of these eggs. Just make sure that whichever server you're in, you are the first one to grab it out of your group. As what I believe, from what I remember, from what I heard from the the Adopt Me team through the Discord server. But yeah, so make sure that you always look out for this egg, and make sure you're the one to grab it, just to make sure. It's always to be safe than not to grab the egg at all. As you saw there, I was doing my best to avoid the frost breath from FrostClaw. Always make sure you are following Santa. Now, even though I didn't exactly do that, I went through my own route. It's always safe for you to go through Santa's steps and lead yourself to safety with you following Santa Claus from behind. Now we're going to go on ahead with my egg. I'm going to go on ahead and jump down the slide. Now you don't need to use W, just use your A and D controls. Whenever you're going down the slide, just make sure you are avoiding all that orange because that will take damage away from you. No, that will take damage from you. And your health will decrease. So just make sure you're avoiding that at all times as we're going down the slide carefully. Even though it is sometimes hard to keep track on where these orange obstacles are, just make sure you're trying your best to avoid these at all times, especially that one right there that I just went right past, because that can honestly strike someone very, very quickly if they're not careful. So just making sure you're doing this exact route how I'm doing, either on console, on mobile devices, or on PC. As I said before, it's always recommended to go through the PC or mobile devices since console does run a little bit harder and slower, and of course it's a lot more difficult to reach certain buttons that you may need along the way. Now we're going to the boss fight. Here we go, and we got enemies to fight off. I did not expect that. I thought we're gonna get spikes or something like that, but not this time. Ow. So I'm gonna go on ahead and just use my anti-lock once again, and I'm just gonna go on ahead and carefully strike these guys, making sure that I'm staying out of their circle. Just trying to make sure that I give these guys what they deserve, damage them, and destroy them once and for all. Alright, let's see what he's gonna do next. It's very, very different of what FrostClaw decides to do. He will spawn enemies, he'll drop spikes on the ground, or he will use his frost breath. So just make sure at all times you are avoiding all of his evil doing moves. He's going to go on ahead and hop over. I'm just going to go over to the button over here. Boom. He got damaged. Very, very easy to do when it comes to activating the button. It's just everything else that might seem a little bit difficult, especially for you. It was pretty easy for me, and I just got struck by one of those ice spikes, which kind of sucked, but it's okay. I got plenty of food that I can use to heal, which actually gives me the perfect time to go on ahead and use that cookie. I'm going to go on ahead and use that to heal. I only got 10% health out of that, which is completely okay. I'm just going to continue battling these guys. Just in case if I start getting really, really low on health, I'm going to go on ahead and use the ham. I would always recommend using the ham in case you get to at least 10 or 20% health, because if you eat all of your food before this boss battle, then you're basically all done for. As long as you stay safe at all times, you're basically done for. As you can see what I'm doing, as FrostClaw is using his frost breath and avoiding the red circle, I'm just going inside of the ice cube where Santa is currently, and I'm just taking tippy toes just to avoid him at all costs. He's going to jump back over here, and then we're going to see what he's going to do next. Ice spikes, going to avoid that, and he's going to spawn enemies. Completely fine, because the more enemies I defeat, the more gingerbread I can earn from the game. I believe the maximum amount of gingerbread you can earn from this game is actually 10,000. The highest I've actually received from this game is 9,535, which is actually a really, really good amount. But I wish it was a little bit more that I would have gotten, at least 10,000. So I'm just going to go ahead and do what I usually do, is just avoid all of this. I'm going to give myself time and heal very quickly, since that does give me 30% health more than what the other things do. That's why the hams are very, very, very useful when it comes to the game. Just making sure that you're staying on track on what you're doing. Same as usual, doing this right now. Just making sure I am staying away from the circle. Don't turn right, because you're always going right. But his circle is going left. So just make sure that you go right, and make sure you're taking tippy toes. Don't go too aggressive on moving. He's gonna land right there, and then that's it. FrostClaw is finally defeated, and that is how you defeat the FrostClaw's Fury minigame. Very, very fun game to play, especially for people of all ages. I've already played this game at least 7 times. It's really, really addicting for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's mainly because it's just an interactive story mini game, which is something I actually do like, because it kind of just like have that reminder of like Kingdom Hearts or some other few games. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this tip and guide that I decided to show you guys today. Hopefully you find it very, very useful. If you did, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers on this channel, so you know, every subscriber is definitely very helpful for me. Once again, my name is Spark of Imagination, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!